Hello, everybody. This is Bart Sharp, and you are on Becoming Quantum Conscious on United Public Radio Network and UFO Paranormal Radio Network on 107.7 and 105.3, broadcasting out of the beautiful city of New Orleans, Louisiana, and also on Roku cable television, the UPRN website, that would be uprn.com, Facebook, X, YouTube, Spreaker, and other internet platforms. And I am in lovely France still, in Quillon, France, just finishing up 4 10-day tours in 2 months, like true road warrior, leading 4 tours, driving all of these people around, mostly women, but not all, and into sites of Mary Magdalene, and driving this huge van on narrow roads and just scaring the dickens out of everybody. But that's part of the process, is to be on a narrow road, and you don't know what risk taking is until you're on a 15-foot wide road or no, let's make it like a 12-foot wide road, and you have a 7-foot wide van, and here comes a car that's 5 foot wide, and you have about maybe 12 inches to spare in between the two of you, and you're going 30 miles an hour. It's thrilling. So I recommend everybody to come to France and learn their driving skills. I understand why people don't get driver's license, because it's harrowing, and we just love the French for their driving skills. I haven't cussed any of them out yet, so there we have it. So I'm going to bring on the guest today, Jacque Chapoutot. I knew I'd get this right. By the way, he's French. Well, welcome, Jacque.
Yeah, hi Bart. Thank you for having me in your show.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Jacque is in all over France. He lives in southern France, close to my neck of the woods here. But also he's worked out of Paris. He's a human design systems coach, trainer, personal therapist. If I missed anything there, working out of Paris for many, many years, and kind of coming down here because you can work on the internet now. You can work any place. So welcome to the show, Jacque.
Thank you, Bart. Thank you again for having me in the show. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, well, human design systems, as I've been around in this community of this energetic, quantum, new age, et cetera, field, it's just popping up more and more. And, there's a lot of people with a lot of enthusiasm about it, saying it's great stuff. And here we've been friends for quite a while, and
yeah,
almost 4 or 5 years.
Oh, yes. It's before COVID.
Yeah. And you here you are, a big professional in this. So what better opportunity is to get somebody with a
It's a shared
great
opportunity
French
because
accent and
Mhm.
to explain to us about what is human design, because it's really complex, if I could say one word, but also amazingly perceptive into how the human personality functions and how it can be empowered even more.
Mhm.
What would be, can you just give us, like, I know this is hard. This is the most difficult thing, is kind of to give a brief description about it, or because it's so big.
Bart, I'll try my best
All
to
right.
make
I
it
appreciate
to make
that.
it short. To make it short. Um, because it's so fascinating. Human design is a so fascinating knowledge that about human people that is hard to make it short. But I'll try to make it really short, which
Oh,
is a challenge for me. Yeah? Well,
we
out
have
of
very long. we have very long, drawn out conversations, so that's why I'm just laughing.
You know me well. Well, out of astrologies, Western astrology, Chinese I Ching, Indian chakra, the Mesopotamian Kabbalah, and also out of some genetics, the codons, genetic codons, and astrophysics, the neutrinos. Out of all these components, the human design system realizes a synthesis, very interesting and unusual synthesis of what is a human matrix. And this human design system, which is born around the early 90s, is also called the science of differentiation because it
And what was
means
that last word you said?
the
The science
science
of
of differentiation, that
deer.
everybody is unique.
Yes,
Every human being is absolutely perfect, a genius, and differentiated. That means totally unique.
yes.
So how do we get to that? How does it
Get to
work?
your. How do you get to your core self to where you really find that power?
That yeah, it all starts with a chart. Like in astrology, there is a chart, human design chart that you can get calculated for free on many websites. You get your free human design chart. Now, how it gets to get your chart? How does it does this? With a computer, with a program for human design calculation, takes your birth data. And 3 months before your birth data, we have two imprints, 3 months before your birth, and that sets the whole of the intelligence, the cellular intelligence at work in your human matrix. And at birth time, yes,
So would you be going into the third trimester at that time in pregnancy?
the last trimesters, the last 3 months before your birth, according to human design, this is the time basically your body is ready to welcome a soul, according to human design. And then at birth time, you get a second imprint, and that will set up your personality, your psychic mind. So you have these two parts of
Wow.
your human design, of your human matrix, the body and the mind, the spirit. And
I,
these two, yes.
I just want to say hi to Juliet Evans. She just
Oh,
came on.
mhm.
Uh, so you have these two parts.
There are these two parts, body and mind. They combine, they are juxtaposed on the human design chart as a whole, and this will be your vehicle. This will be the human matrix you will be working with all of your life. And that human matrix has a purpose, it has a role, it has a mission, it has a destiny. And human design can explain very precisely what is your destiny in this human matrix for the whole world.
Wow.
Now,
I have a question with that.
please.
When you say talk about the polarity between the mind and the body, is one of them more connected to the third trimester and one to the birth by chance, or is there any association with that?
No, it's not a chance. It's
Okay.
it's it's according to human design knowledge, it is a fact. It is there, like astrology says. Well, at birth time, the planets are positioned in the zodiac and this position, and that creates your astrological chart, and it determines your character and your capacities and all that. Well, human design says the same thing, basically. At birth time, you get an imprint, but the particularity and the special point human design brings is that, well, you have an imprint that came before, 3 months before your birth. You got imprinting as you were a fetus in the womb of your mother. There was an imprint, and that imprint sets up the whole behavior and the whole nature and the whole character of your cellular intelligence, which 70,000 billions of cells, they have a way to function. They have a nature. And that human design is a tool to help us understand that. So,
wow.
To sum
That makes
up,
so much sense.
well, this, human design brings you the blueprint. There is the blueprint of your energetic vehicle. Its nature, your talents. What is the guidance? I'll come back on to that point because this is a very important point. It's like there is a GPS in your vehicle. Which is this GPS? What is your psychological profile? What is your life destiny? All this is included in this human design chart, in this blueprint. And you just require either to have some good books about human design or some connect with a human design analyst, and they will explain to you, they will reveal to you the mysteries of your fantastic human design vehicle, which is a wonder.
And so it's really resourcing about where that source and that trimester, as how do you get that out and get it active and alive in your logical, practical, mindful life? Am I following you right?
This is, when you drive a car, you have some rules. And it's not the same thing to drive a car or to fly a helicopter, for example. So this is where human design brings what we call key tools. And there are 2 key tools. One is called strategy, and one is called authority, inner authority. So in fact, to answer your question, there are 2 possibilities. The first one, we know about the nature of our vehicle. If I know I am in the car, I will tend to respect and to follow, hi Carrie, to follow the rules of the streets and the car driving. I will follow that because I know that. Now, in that case, with your human design vehicle, when you know and you understand what are the rules, what are the laws of nature of your matrix, and you follow these rules, you obey, or you go with your strategy and authority, then you don't have to bother or to think mentally, how should I drive correctly my body intelligence? Because it does it by itself. It knows exactly where it has to be, when it has to be there. This is really something fantastic that we've been given to have such a fantastic vehicle. Some great masters. Great masters say it's an unbelievable gift to receive a human body. Masters say, big masters can say that. So just to finish the short introduction, Human design, through this, your human design chart tells you what you are and what you are not also. And this is the key point that human design brings. And I don't know any other um, uh, personal development system, whatever it is, and beautiful that they are. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
one that is able to say, okay, here's what you are. Now watch out what you are not. Because when you
And
don't follow, just to finish this point, when you don't follow your strategy and authority, the inner rules of your vehicle, then what you are not becomes more important to you, and you derive you're not anymore on the right track of your life. And this is what you need to understand and to live. Oh God, I thought I was somebody like this, like this, like this, but this was conditioning. This was something I was told when I was a child, and this is not me. This is not my nature. So human
and we
design. Sorry, please go ahead.
no. You were calling it to me the other day. The not self mind was the
Exactly.
terminology.
Exactly. This not self mind is a key element, a key contribution of human design to human race. And I have to say that in that emphasis, because as long as we do not recognize some of our habits that are just derived from our not self mind means what? What you are not is thinking what you should be doing and what you should not be doing. But this is not you. This is not the truth of what you are, and you are somebody absolutely unique, perfect. You just need
Yes,
two things. One is to understand which type of vehicle you're in, and the second is to follow its laws of nature, strategy, and authority.
yes. And at some levels, this all sounds so simple. But as I've
Mhm.
been talking to others about human designs, there's a lot of insight in of how it can get into a huge complexity. However, you've told me my design, and just a simple plan that was there that you could tell me in about 3 to 5 minutes gave me a just a world of confirmation
Mm.
if there's anything with it, and it gave me some insights that, well, this stuff that seems to be so easy for me, and how I've had a history, because mine is all about having an invitation to come in to do things. But when I come in, I'm wholeheartedly projecting that out. Uh,
Right.
uh, yeah, so to me, it was like it gave me a lot in a really short amount of time.
This is what exactly happened to me in 2002 when human design came into my life. Um, this guy who he didn't know me at all. He was a former jet fighter pilot in the German army. Former jet
Uh-huh.
pilot. So a guy who was really, really pop, very, very clear and very. And what he told me that day, that took out of my shoulders such a weight, and I could feel, gosh, I know now that I can understand myself. Not only know myself, but really understand why am I functioning that way? Am I reacting this way or that way? Why it is easy for me in this field, for example, teaching, for example, because it's written in this human design chart. It's the blueprint of this vehicle I'm in. So understanding this vehicle is so important. For me, it is the key for healing.
Yeah.
human mind needs
Almost,
to understand. Otherwise, it doesn't let
uh,
loose.
almost as if you get to actualize the pattern that you were meant to play, you're much happier and satisfied because you're following something that's natural and easy. And when you're
Right.
happy and satisfied, you're empowered. You're probably going to have better health because you're going to have less stress, and you're going to have more success.
And the on the top of all that, which is absolutely true, but you've summed up this point very clearly. This is absolutely true. And on the top of that, what is really fascinating is that when you are in that following the rules of your vehicle, slowly but surely, very gently, over the weeks, over the months, you start to get a feeling that you are in the flow of life. And then there is something that is sustaining you, supporting you. You know, in India, they call that the Dharma. When you are in your Dharma, you never make an effort.
Yeah.
Everything is very easy. You get 5 minutes before you need it, what you will need in 5 minutes. And this is something that is computed by a super calculator. I don't know what, call it life, call it God, call it whatever, in creative intelligence. But I speak of that out of my own experience. Since 20 years, I can see how when I trust more and more the intelligence of this vehicle, things become very easy, simple. Doesn't mean I don't do anything anymore, but whatever I go into, there is this, when I go into that correctly, following my strategy and authority, then everything gets very easy.
Yes. Carrie Lenderjock has
Uh,
something to share. I think I was told mine is a invitation to Bart. I was told I'm a projecting
yes.
projector. That it's rarest, and my Myers-Briggs type is uh, introvert, intuitive, feeling, judgmental. Also, the rarest in that typing. Lots of love. No wonder.
Yeah, yeah. Carrie is completely right. You're right, Carrie. You're a self-projecting projector. We won't enter into the technical details of that, but projectors. Perhaps, but we can shortly explain
Yeah,
what are the four types of
yeah. It's a
human
good.
metrics. Huh?
Yes,
Okay,
I think that's a
so
good time to switch.
yeah, it's make it simple. It's very really for our audience to know that we are not getting into really real details here, but just give some overall picture of this human design system. Well, we have, according to human design, four types of auras. Four types. The first one is the manifester. It's about 8 to 10% of world population. These are the ancient kings and queens. Their aura is closed and repelling. It's a, whenever you get to a contact with a manifester, whether a man or a woman, you have power in front of you. And this is
Mm.
such a strong energy which is impacting you, whether you want it, you like it or not. By the way, even the manifestors, even if they wouldn't want to impact others, they cannot, because their aura is so dense, so compact, that wherever they go, they impact others. And that creates some problems for women, for example, women that are manifestors. They, uh, we have these setups of values in society since ages that women are at home and they are the feminine energy and they are welcoming and the man is really doing things. Yes, right. But when you're in a woman and you've got a manifestor vehicle, you are not especially kind and very enveloping and very gentle. You have a power, and that creates problems to men or to other women because you have this power, which is sort of
I would
not
imagine
expected.
I would
Hmm?
imagine people strongly judge you, and they're either totally adoring you or they're, you know, contesting you, confronting you,
Right, right,
uh,
right.
because they're so big. But if you kind of know what that's their energy, you might have some perspective about how to manage them.
And this is precisely where this strategy is coming out. Because strategy is the way, according to your vehicle, the type of your vehicle, strategy is the way to be in the flowless flow of life, including for the manifestors. Now, manifestors, they've got this great gift in life to be free people. They do what they want when they want. They bring impulses, they initiate things. They are there to bring this energy to start something. Okay, fine. So since childhood, they don't understand why they have to ask for permission, for example. They don't understand why other people are always creating resistances to them. Now, there is a key there for them. And to the audience, whoever is a manifester there, please understand that if you want to feel free, to have this freedom to do things you want to do at any time without getting the resistances from others around you, please inform. Inform whoever will be impacted by your decisions. Understand, you there as a king or as a queen, you don't need to ask for permission. You check with your inner GPS, your inner authority. You check: is it good for me to do this? Is it not good to do it? When that's done, you've taken your decision.
Mm.
Inform people before you start acting. In that
So,
case,
so they're kind of like natural. They could be natural leaders or
yeah,
natural people that have a big presence in the world if they
yeah.
just allow themselves to have their own direction.
And for that to have their own direction, it's not a question that they have to do something specific for that, other than they get the freedom and the space around them, the absence of resistances or obstacles from others to unfold their potential and to go in the direction they want to go. And for that, they just need to stop putting people around them onto the fait accompli of things. You
Mm.
know, there is this point that manifestors, they think, oh, I have to I am a free person, so I do what I want when I want. And the result of that is people are always facing a fait accompli from the manifestors. And that creates so much anger, so much resistances from the people. They're pissed off and they say, wow, this guy, he doesn't take in account that I'm existing. Inform
Mm.
them. And you will see your space around you starts to become broader and broader. You are really free to do what you want.
Almost,
Inform.
almost, almost as if they do not worry about how people judge them and not react to that, like, oh, they expect me to be this way, and they kind of shrink themselves because they're afraid of what people think of them. They're not being in their true path, and it makes them less trustable in a way. and they're disempowered. Whereas if they're truly knowing that, they
Right.
are in their power. So what if we go on to some other things? Because I
Yeah.
kind of want to go and get to some other juicy stuff in this conversation.
Oh, all right.
But
Just
before we go on to that,
yeah.
I need to
Mhm.
tell everybody that you are with Jacque Chapoutot of Human Design Systems out of France, and you can contact the Human Design System with www.humandesign4u.eu and find a human design professional for you, or you can find Jacques in that big maze of professionals that do this kind of work. Also, you are on United Public Radio Network and UFO Paranormal Radio Network out of New Orleans, Louisiana on 107.7 and 105.3. And we are on Roku, cable television, UPR and website, Facebook, X, and YouTube and other internet platforms. So, what's next in the four of human designs?
Yeah. Let's get to the majority of
The majority.
human yeah, the majority of human beings are called generators and manifesting generators, which is a type under the generator. There are
What
about
percentage?
67%.
67.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a big majority. Now,
Okay.
yeah, the generator, this is the gut feelings, the sacral energy. In this chakra system, this is the second chakra. And this is not only sexual energy that is activated there in these people. This is the life force energy itself. This life force energy. This is the creative intelligence of nature that created all this fantastic universe. This is the same energy which is in them, in their second chakra. Now, the nature of this sacral center, as we call it in human design, this is the gut feelings, and they vibrate. They are moaning, they're doing these sounds, very natural to them since childhood. This is, if you're a generator or manifesting generator, and you tend to answer somebody, whatever they ask to you, and it's in precise enough, it's detailed enough. Do you like apples? Oh. Do you like yeah, whatever? Yeah, I love
A
it.
taco.
And yeah, you see, and this is something that is really bursting out of their gut feelings, and it's thrilling. It's something which is so clear, and this is the point. These vibrations are like GPS for generators or manifesting generators. When it is something as a response to what happens in their life, the response from their gut feelings is go. It's a green light for you. Now, if it's a better not go there, because you will be frustrated. And you wouldn't want to be frustrated. You want to be satisfied. You want to be fulfilled with your sacral energy, your vital energy. And for that, you need to pay attention.
So does this mean they should be listening to their gut a lot?
Right. It's absolutely essential. It's the key point for generators and manifesting generators. Manifesting generators, they are people to manifest out of their gut feelings, what makes them vibrate. Then they go and they manifest, they do things. And the generators are there to just vibrate, like the skin of a drum. When you tumble over it like with the fingers, this is the sacral energy. And when a generator is vibrating and giving the direction of their life according to these vibrations, which are really signals to them, they get into the flow of life. And boy, are they powerful. Boy, it's like a bulb light, when the bulb starts to lit up, then you have the light is for everybody. So is it for this aura of the generator, which is open. It's enveloping. These videos of hugs that we saw a few years ago, these hugs around in the streets. Generators are doing that. They have this, and they nourish.
Also, like, it's almost like if they can find their sensuality that makes them come alive, and when we think about sensuality, everybody thinks about, oh, that's my sexual being. But no, like a mutual friend of ours has a sensuality with the garden and the forest and being in this natural setting. And when she's in that, she is more alive and present and more of herself. And when she's communicating, we won't mention names.
Yeah.
However, those seem to be her elements. That happens.
It's natural, and I've got one of my clients at the beginning of my professional career, generator, and she was telling me, "Wow, it's unbelievable. When I'm vibrating, I don't know, and intellectually, I don't know why that makes me vibrate, but." There is no doubt in my mind. This is exactly what I have to do. This is exactly where I need to be. I don't ask myself, who am I? Gosh, what am I doing in this situation there? I'm vibrating. I know this is exactly, all my cells tell me this is exactly what I have to do. So generators and manifesting generators, you've got a duty for the whole of humanity. Is to allow yourself to vibrate, to just be vibrating beings, because that's your nature. And when you do that, you're in the flow of life, and life is supporting you.
And I would guess your wisdom would pop up, because I see so much of the problem in the world today is that we're so much on listening to other people's opinions, other news sources, and all of these stories about what's going on in the world, and we're affected by that. But it kind of separates us and gets us out of touch with our generating bliss, following our bliss and that power. And when you know that power, you're going to know what's true for you in relation to the world.
One of the most essential messages for human design is to tell anyone, no one other than you knows better what is good for you and is not good for you. Because you have the intelligence inside of you. In the form, in the vehicle, you have the intelligence to tell you, this is right for you, this is good for your evolution, this is your destiny, and you know it not from your mind, you know it from your gut feelings, you know it from all your cells that are vibrating. And as you said, when you force yourself to think what I should do, what I should not do, you're not anymore yourself. You're not self. You're not yourself anymore. And frustration and anger are the result when you think your life and when you should vibrate your life. This is a key difference.
It is. And we get so manipulated with that. I keep thinking of those, at least this is in the United States, these great car commercials, and people are finding this form of ecstasy when they're in their car and they're driving. And maybe that's right for a few people, but they're really, manipulating that generator possibility. Like, you're going to find that gut feeling here if you buy this automobile, because it speaks to us. And the actuality is we need to get into human design and start realizing that and start feeling what life is for us. And what I understand is that as you get into the disciplines of human design, there's a lot more advice and guidance on how to get into this deeper and understand it. We're just giving the basics.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
being that we're
absolutely.
at 40 minutes of a 55-minute show,
Mm.
let's go to the next one.
Yeah. Okay, then we get to the projector. Now, the
Oh,
projector, its name, the very name projector, by the way, the very name of the manifester is that they manifest. The very name, human design is using keywords. And these keywords are like mantras, you know, for
mm-hmm.
the human mind. It opens, it unlocks the title, unlock your potentials. This is exactly what it does. Now, the generator, this is generating this life force energy, vibrating energy. Now, the projector, 23-24% of the world population. Projector, what is a projector? This is a light, and that light is projected. It is focused. The aura of the projectors is focused onto the other. And the other can be a person, it can be a philosophy, it can be a science, it can be whatever. Um, Projectors are natural guides. The light we are speaking of, this is the light of awareness. When we address to all projectors that are listening to us now, you know, since childhood, you're there to guide others because this is your natural talent. You don't need to force yourself. This is your skill to recognize the potential of others and help them use it for their best.
So
So
what percentage are projectors?
23-24%
Okay,
of the world population.
all
You're
right.
a projector, if I may reveal. Bart, you're a projector. I'm myself a projector, and this is so enjoyable to have this capacity to help others by guiding them. This natural job for a projector is coach. This is all the people that are coaching, teaching also. This is naturally for them, that natural for them. So the point is that as always there is a weak point we should be aware of. All projectors who are skilled to recognize the other, they need to feel themselves recognized. They need to feel correctly recognized for the talents they can bring, the guidance they can bring. So there is a key point here for any projector in your, especially in your professional life, in your social life. As for the manifestors, we said inform before acting. For the generator, we said vibrate and then act. Do things that vibrate first. This is the most important. For projectors, wait for the invitation. You're a guide, you're light. Now, what's a light? A light doesn't switch on by itself. It needs somebody that comes and pulls the button so that it lights up. So this is exactly the same for you, projectors. Wait for
This
the invitation and you will find success in your guidance or your guidances for all people. All your social activities should be, according to human design, made after you are invited to guide as the natural light that you are. We have
it's
Barack Obama, we have Brad Pitt, we have Mike Jagger, we have Barbara Streisand, George Clooney, John Kennedy were amongst the projectors.
yeah.
So,
I think a projector's dream, at least for me, is like you want to go out and just influence people. Even like love and sex is kind of like how can you bring that to another and have this see this great growth in them. I
Hmm.
mean, it applies to so much about
Oh
everything
yeah.
we do.
Oh yeah. And you
It
see,
does.
hmm, you see projectors when they wait for the invitation and they get the invitation. This is something which is unbelievable. Since 20 years, I can see that. Oh, Harry, thanks for the sharing here.
She
Um,
says, as a child, I intuited flipping of light switch energy and analogy. I guess you're like, when am I going to get turned on? Like, when's that
right.
switch going to flip and somebody's going to invite me to do something that I had that dream of doing?
This is
That sounds
exactly
wonderful.
this is exactly the fear of all projectors, And I do remember when I was a child, or even when I was an adult, before I get to understand from human design, my father was telling me, Jacques, you will speak only when we tell you to speak, when we say you can speak. That was really hurting for me. And I was really bitter. And bitterness, by the way, this is the signature of the not self mind of projectors. That means, as a projector, if you do not wait for the invitation to guide others, the result will be some kind of rejection, some kind of misunderstanding. Someone will tell you or will show you, as my father did at the time, well, you speak when we tell you to speak. Basically, he was telling me the rule for projectors. And human design at that time wasn't, it didn't exist. Huh? You took care. Yeah, yeah, I can
That's
understand that.
me.
And I'm sure all projectors, they would say the same. Oh, yes, that
Yeah,
it's exactly what I lived.
that's me too. I wish my father would have came home with an acoustic guitar and said, Bart, I think you would be a great guitar player. One of my dreams. Even
Yeah.
if I had to play country and western music, it'd be so good.
Mm.
But it's that type of thing. We're coming down to 8
Yeah.
minutes, so we got one more category. But
Yeah,
this would be
one
so
more
juicy to stay
category,
in this.
short and fast, because this is the rarest of all human matrices. 1% of the world population are reflectors. Now, what is a reflector? From the term reflector, we get the mirror idea. These people, they are like mirrors, or they are like chameleons. Chameleons, they are just sampling. And the aura of the reflector, which is on the surface very, very flexible, is sampling all the energies around. But the core of the reflector is like, diamond. Very, very strong, very powerful. Just on the outskirt, on the surface of the aura, there is this capacity, like the chameleon, to sample all energies around you. So these guys, these people, if you're a reflector, I, I really have to tell you, big respect. Society should really take so much care of you, so much caring for you, because you're there to show us by what you are reflecting from what we are in front of you. You are the witnesses. You are
Mm.
the final judge in life, telling, okay, this measure that has been taken from the government, if all reflect citizens, they feel poor, they feel bad, they feel angry. Well, that wasn't a good decision, because reflectors are reflecting the state of consciousness of the population. And
Wow.
so it is in the family, so it is in the group, in the collective. Watch the reflector, how it is. If you have a reflector in your neighborhood, in your group, watch how they feel. What are their reactions?
So they're strongly influenced by all energies around them, and they can be overwhelmed much of the time. And if they're intuitive or psychic, it's probably even more
Even more,
intense.
even more. And what I like, about, because as a projector, is that you catch very quickly the point. It's
Hmm.
exactly that. The reflector is somebody that should care so much for the quality of their environment, where they live, their apartment, their house, the friends who I'm in contact with, to be especially careful to the quality of energy. Reflectors, they enjoy to be with children, with animals, with nature, because these are uh, pure energies. They are true energies, not like adult humans. They are completely bizarre in their head. They are not
Yes.
self-mind. And just one last point about the reflector. They have no motor, they have no fuel in their matrix. So imagine you're in a vehicle and that vehicle doesn't have a motor, it doesn't have an engine, it doesn't produce by itself fuel. So what am I going to do with my vehicle that stays all day long here? Now, we would think this is a problem, but for reflectors, if they are correctly raised, it's not a problem. They can stay the whole day long sampling all energies around. Look at sampling these beautiful orchids, for example,
Hmm.
sampling what we are talking. They just have so much to sample and to learn. They don't
So,
need to move and to do things.
so a big part of their
But,
discipline is what
sorry?
do I tap? The big part of their discipline is, do I tap into positive things like nature and the positivity
Right.
of the world, or do I uh, become concerned that the world is like going in like down and spiraling and like hell in a handbag, as we say in
Mm.
Texas. Uh,
Their, their,
yeah.
their biggest challenge, sorry, the biggest challenge for reflectors is called identification. If they do identify to the energies that are around them, and these are bad, low energies, wow, this is quite uh, hardship for them. This is really very bad.
Yeah,
And
sounds depressing.
and since they don't have an engine, a motor, and they don't produce the fuel, reflectors have always the feeling, the sensation that they depend on others. They depend of the willpower of this one, the vital energy of that one, the adrenaline of this one, or the emotions without the four motors in the human matrix. They need these energies, so the energy sources. So
Hmm.
they tend, when for a couple, for example, if one day we do a show on human design and couples, and the energies between them,
Couples, yes.
you know, reflectors. Every time I do a compatibility chart with a reflector and somebody else, I know 90% of the cases the other person, see, the reflector, there is no center activity. It's all white in the coding
Hmm.
system. It's all white. But when they get with a partner, you can be almost sure that the other one has so much activated energies in them, sort of to balance, Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm with somebody that brings me all these energies. So they have
yeah,
to be
yeah.
careful,
They have to be
especially,
careful. Whereas they
yeah,
ever found their identity of what they were, they could get
exactly.
sources from lots of things.
And
And we're
love.
coming down to the end of the show.
Yeah.
And so I want you to think about a 1 minute statement that you can just give, like of a parting gift to everybody. And while you think of that, I'm going to tell everybody that you're with Jacque Chapoutot of Human Design Systems, and you can find Jacque at Human Design for You. That would be the number for you at .eu. Also, my name is Bart Sharp, and you are on Becoming Quantum Conscious on United Public Radio Network and UFO Paranormal Radio Network out of New Orleans, Louisiana at 107.7, 105.3 on Roku, YouTube, Facebook, X, and the UPRN website and other internet platforms. And Jacque, it's been such a pleasure. I think we could talk
Shared
for
pleasure.
4 hours. We just needed to have a beer, while we were doing this. But what would you like to leave the audience with?
Well, I would like to tell our audience, you want to be naturally in the flow of life without effort, being always sure that what you're engaged in is the right thing at the right time for you. Here is a system. Here is a way, the tools where you can live your design according to the type of your vehicle. And it can bring you much more things. But the purest is that, being in the flow of life. And please let me finish in this point. In order for a forest to be beautifully green, what is the prerequisite? Thank you to you, Carrie. What is the prerequisite? It is that every tree is green, beautifully green. Now, it's the same thing for humanity. If you're in the flow of life, if you are, as a manifester, in peace, as a generator, a manifesting generator, you are satisfied. If for a projector, you have success. And for the reflector, you have wonders in your life. When you want that and you have that, you become, for the forest, a beautifully green tree to make the forest green. A peaceful world can only come from peaceful beings. Be in peace. Human design is a system, practical system, to enhance or to rediscover your uniqueness. And in that uniqueness, the peace with it. And this is the best contribution you can do for the whole world, which is quite needed actually. Thank you, Bart, and thank you for all the audience.
Thank you, Jacque.
That was a great
lovely
pleasure
to have you on, and appreciate you, and love to have you again. And
oh yes,
wish everybody the best, and we'll see you next week with Mary Magdalene show on done by millennials. Mary Magdalene for millennials and beyond. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Bart. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Phyllis.